cycling has a storied history intertwined with doping controversies, making it a subject of intense scrutiny within the realm of sports. Over the past few decades, doping scandals have rocked the cycling world, tarnishing the image of the sport and raising serious questions about the integrity of competition. One of the most infamous doping scandals in cycling's history is undoubtedly the case of Lance Armstrong. Armstrong, once celebrated as one of the greatest cyclists of all time, faced allegations of doping throughout his career. Despite vehement denials and legal battles, Armstrong eventually admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs, leading to the stripping of his 7 Tour de France titles and a lifetime ban from competitive cycling. The Armstrong saga exposed the deep-rooted culture of doping within professional cycling and served as a wake-up call for the entire sport. The prevalence of doping in cycling can be attributed to various factors. The grueling nature of the sport, with its demanding races covering hundreds of miles over challenging terrain, creates immense pressure on cyclists to seek any possible advantage. In such a highly competitive environment, where the difference between victory and defeat can be razor-thin, some athletes succumb to the temptation of doping to enhance their performance and gain an edge over their rivals. Moreover, cycling's long history of doping has fostered a culture of secrecy and complicity, making it difficult to root out doping practices entirely. Team managers, coaches, and even fellow riders have been implicated in doping scandals, perpetuating a cycle of deception and mistrust within the sport. The widespread use of sophisticated doping techniques, such as blood transfusions and designer drugs, further complicates efforts to combat doping effectively. Despite the tarnished reputation of cycling due to doping scandals, significant efforts have been made to clean up the sport and restore its credibility. International governing bodies like the Union Cycliste Internationale, UCI, have implemented stringent anti-doping measures, including comprehensive testing protocols, biological passport programs, and sanctions for doping violations. Additionally, cycling teams and sponsors have become more vigilant in promoting a clean and ethical approach to competition, with many adopting zero-tolerance policies toward doping. In recent years, there have been signs of progress in the fight against doping in cycling. High-profile cases, such as the suspension of riders and the disqualification of tainted victories, have sent a clear message that doping will not be tolerated. Increased transparency, education, and awareness campaigns have also helped to shift the culture within the sport, encouraging athletes to compete clean and resist the temptation of doping. However, the battle against doping in cycling is far from over. As long as there are competitive pressures, financial incentives, and individuals willing to bend the rules, the risk of doping will persist. Cycling's ongoing struggle with doping serves as a cautionary tale for the wider world of sports, highlighting the need for constant vigilance, robust anti-doping measures, and a collective commitment to upholding the principles of fair play and integrity. Only through sustained efforts and unwavering dedication can cycling, and sports as a whole, truly rid itself of the scourge of doping and regain the trust of fans and athletes alike. Cycling is not the only sport that is rooted deeply in doping. Doping in track and field, also known as athletics, has been a persistent issue that has plagued the sport for decades, undermining its integrity and tarnishing the achievements of clean athletes. From sprinting to long-distance running, from jumping to throwing events, doping scandals have cast a shadow over various disciplines within track and field. One of the most notable doping scandals in track and field history involved the Balco scandal in the early 2000s. The Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative, Balco, supplied athletes with performance-enhancing drugs, including the notorious designer steroid tetrahydrogesterone, THG. High-profile athletes such as Marion Jones, a multiple Olympic gold medalist, and Tim Montgomery, a former world record holder in the 100 meters, were among those implicated in the scandal, resulting in suspensions, disqualifications, and tarnished legacies. The prevalence of doping in track and field can be attributed to various factors, including the intense pressure to perform at the highest level, lucrative financial rewards for success, and the allure of fame and glory. Athletes may resort to doping to gain a competitive edge, enhance their physical abilities, or recover more quickly from injuries, especially in an environment where the difference between victory and defeat can be measured in fractions of a second or centimeters. To combat doping in track and field, stringent anti-doping measures have been implemented by international governing bodies such as World Athletics, formerly known as the International Association of Athletics Federations, or IAAF. These measures include comprehensive testing programs, the establishment of the Athlete Biological Passport, ABP, to monitor biological markers of doping, and the imposition of sanctions for doping violations. Despite these efforts, doping continues to be a challenge in track and field, with new substances and doping techniques constantly emerging. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.